Hello. Hi, Joey.
Hi, Sarah. Hi, everybody.
We were just chatting away and I didn't even get our giveaway going. So I'm going to work on
Oh,
that here.
that's my fault because I haven't seen you in months and I had things to ask you.
I know we had a good little chat before we got started, but I will have a giveaway. Just give me a smidgen of time to get that set up. As you guys are rolling in, I missed all of you. I have been gone for about 3 weeks. My mother went on vacation, and then I took the kids on a short vacation for my husband's birthday because we always celebrate every year, and we had such a good time. And then all 3 kids went to sleepaway camp, and I went on summer mommy sleepaway camp with my best girlfriend.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
It was amazing. It was amazing. We went to Calistoga, which, if you're not familiar with wine country, it's one of the more laid back spots in wine country. And it's like just a very old town, super cute, lots of little things that you can do. And they're known for their hot springs. So they have, the mineral pools, and we did a wine tour, and we beaded, and we did watercolors.
That sounds amazing. I want to go next year.
Wore fuzzy pink slippers and just really enjoyed ourselves. So
that sounds amazing.
I know. I think all of you would want to come if you had what we were up to. So I'm feeling super refreshed. I think, Joey, you're not feeling quite as refreshed as I am from summer.
No, this heat is, I'm so over summer. We need the fall boxes to start coming in, fall beads. I'm so over this heat. I'm not the only one. Even my friends and family in Italy are suffering the same way, but in Europe, they're not commonly air conditioned like we are here. So I think about them when I'm dying and I'm in air conditioning, but it's so bad here in Florida. I was telling Sarah before we started, I was driving with my son, and I drive a wheelchair van because of my son's wheelchair. And so it's big and it's really hard to get it cool. And my thermostat was saying it's 105 degrees. I'm just like, I need to go home. I just can't be out in this.
Oh my gosh. Between camp and school started this week too, you guys. Like, it is just
for you. Here in Florida, it started Monday. I was going to ask.
It started Tuesday here. Yeah. So it's just been a whirlwind. But over the weekend, we went to Dixon, California, which is close to Sacramento. And it's like a more deserty landscaped area. It gets hotter in the summer. And my daughter was playing in a soccer tournament, and it was 103 degrees. She was playing soccer in the middle of the afternoon. I looked at the other parents and I thought, because Benicia pretty cool where we live, and I thought, isn't soccer practice canceled? Like, if it's over 92 degrees, they cancel soccer practice, but
isn't it a really, isn't it a really dry heat? Because here it's really humid.
Yes.
Like, you can cut the air with a knife here. It's so humid.
Yes. Yeah. And it is better when it's a dry heat, but when you're running and playing soccer,
it's
it's not. I just filled her up with Gatorade every moment. Every chance I was like, here's more Gatorade. I've never seen this kid drink more Gatorade.
I babysit a little girl in the summer, and she's 8 years old. Her mom was one of my son's teachers, and so I take care of her because the teachers go back early. And the kids, like, you have to watch them because they bounce. This little girl, she bounces everywhere she goes. She doesn't actually take steps. And I had to watch her to make sure she was, drinking, because it's hot. It's really hot for all.
Dana says she remembers the hot baseball tournaments that she had with her boys. Oh, and with the baseball, at least soccer uniforms are pretty light. So there is that, thankfully. Let's see. Carolyn says she needs to, let me catch her comment if I can. Oh, they're going fast now. She needs to open her car doors for a few minutes before she can even get in and drive. It's always so hot in Florida. Oh, I remember living in Arizona. Like, It's unbelievably ridiculous when you get in your car.
Yeah. Yeah. I turn the engine on and let it run. I just let it, I open the garage door, turn the engine on. Because of the wheelchair, it takes about 5-10 minutes sometimes to get my son in with all the straps on the chair.
Oh.
And when it's this hot, you just like don't want to go anywhere. It's, I just
No,
can't
that's
wait for
too
fall.
much.
I'm counting the days until fall. I've even started some videos on autumnal jewelry just to make me feel, I can feel better. I'm so ready for the next season.
Speaking of, I grabbed some beads from Rosa when I was in the office yesterday because I was like, I need fall beads. Like school started today. I am ready for designing for fall. And so I grabbed these beauties here, which will be in the live sale tomorrow, both of these strands. Then I noticed the wild mushroom strand is out. So I got super excited about that because I haven't gotten to see it yet until yesterday. And I was looking at this part too from Tierra Cast through Passion Fashion. And I was like, ooh, that could be kind of something maybe. So I have this all laid out because it's what I'm going to use today. But I know Joey has a beautiful layout of the Enchanted Forest design kit.
Yeah.
And we're just beading today. We don't have a real set plan, everybody. As you know, I'm not great with set plans. I just like to sort of fly by the seat of my pants and hang out. So I'm glad all of you are here. Anybody watching later on replay, thank you for being here and just hanging out with us. I hope you have your beads out on your bead table as well, especially if you have the Enchanted Forest design kit, which I think is what you have, right, Joey?
Yes, and I already did a video for my channel, so I have that bracelet here, and then everything that's left over, I'm going to do something else. And I normally am a planner, and I didn't really plan much. I'm just going to like pretend I'm at my Bead Society meeting with all of you and just make stuff. So
yeah, well, and it's perfect because you're on my show. If you were on Kristen's show, it would be harder. She'd be like, I need a plan.
Yeah, I normally do a lot more to prepare for these things than I did today, but
no problem.
So, yeah, so we're just going to have fun and see what comes out of it.
Totally. Okay, I'm going to go to my screen so you can flip your screen and get comfy, and then we can get going. I wanted to look and see if Kristen loaded the new sale or not. Oh, this looks a little different. That's interesting. I don't see it, so I don't think she loaded it for me. But I think we're doing a huge closeout sale, if I remember correctly. Oh, here it is. Yep, she did. She's going to be like, I did load that, Sarah. First days back from vacation are always the most difficult, right? This started just today. We have a closeout and outlet sale. I'm making a sound when I say outlet because I want you to remember that I think we still have some of the 24 karat gold wire in the outlet, and you can get a discount using coupon code LAST CHANCE. It's up to 70% off. That means if it already has a discount, Last Chance is going to add to it. It looks like use coupon code for an extra 10% off closeouts and outlets. So depending on what the discount is already, there are items that are up to 70% off when you use that coupon code. Looks like we've got about 150 items on sale. I hope you'll help us knock some of those out so we can move forward with new items. And they went through our closeouts and maybe even our outlets, and they added deeper discounts this week. So some of those things maybe you've been eyeing, but you were waiting for them to drop just a little bit more in price. Now is your chance. You can find all of that at softflexcompany.com. Let me drop that, and then we'll take a quick look at what I've got here. I unfortunately didn't retain the tag for these. I don't know if Rosa took the tag or what exactly happened to the tag, but I didn't retain the tag, so I don't know exactly the stone name or the price. I know these were so affordable. I was kind of in shock they were still around. And they will be discounted tomorrow for the live sale, a new price that we haven't shown before. So I grabbed these. I noticed I grabbed just the right strand because I do have a broken bead here. But I was thinking about taking that apart and making earrings because they will match because they're from the same bead, and just a little bit. I mean, it cut right in half. So I was like, oh, I could probably make earrings out of that stone. But anyway, if you ever find a strand that has a broken stone in it and we haven't let you know when you're purchasing it, make sure you point it out to us, because we usually will add a little bit of a discount to that strand. Sometimes it just happens in shipping and it can't be helped. Usually we try to catch it if we can, but you just never know. I also was thinking about using these lovelies, which I think just match so well, bring in kind of those darker tones of fall. And then I am just so in love with this beauty. This is the Wild Mushroom bead strand, and it's got a lot of sparkle, lots of fun metallics in it. So I'm going to open that up and bring that into my design. I was thinking about using our Pro Econo Flex in the gold. This was recently restocked, and you can find it at softflexcompany.com. It's just a really beautiful gold color, and it is the 01949 strand version of it. So I love this color, and I was thinking how pretty it would be with the gold. I also grabbed some craft wire in gold. I don't have much of the 22 gauge on hand, so I grabbed my 20 as well. But I was thinking maybe I would do a little bit of chain and a little bit of stringing, and who knows? I feel, footloose and fancy free after my mommy summer camp. So I don't know exactly what I'll end up doing. Joey, I'm going to come over to your side of things now. Okay.
Yeah. Let me know if I have everything set so that you can see.
Yeah, it looks great.
Good? Okay. It's so small until you make it big that I can't tell if let me move.
It is hard.
Let me move a little bit so you can see what's left over from my kit. So I did this bracelet for my channel, and what I'm really into right now is embellishing my beads with wire, like making individual components and then connecting them. So that's what I did on this. I used my Soft Flex 49 strand to make these little rings, which I do a lot. That's one of my favorite techniques. And I've been using the Soft Flex wire to make my own really sweet little head pins. And so that was my bracelet for my channel. But about a year ago or more, I did this component totem necklace, pendant. And so I saw this idea from a jeweler that actually had done these in really expensive gemstones. And you can make them as long or as short as you want. So the fun of it is just taking the chunky beads like from the mix and doing different components. And I love my Soft Flex wire for that because of all the gauges that it comes in. So I am like you, Sarah. I have 22 out here. I have 24. I have 20. It's all my favorite. And then I had 28. Like you even can go down to 28 gauge wire. I did some projects with that this summer. And I love it for this kind of thing because it's soft. So it's really easy to like get your wraps on things. But if you, I don't know, does everybody know how to work harden? Like if you want to make jump rings out of the Soft Flex wire? I don't know if you guys have shown that lately because I can show everybody what I do.
Always show it because there's always someone new watching.
Okay. Well, I'm kind of in the middle of my first component because I'm just going to sit and play. And my plan was to make another totem pendant with the beads that I have left because these chunky fire polish beads were in here. And these are so cool to make little like flowers out of them with a halo or like a frame of beads. And then I love to orbit my beads with either wire or string seed beads on. So that's what I'm going to do. But once you make these little individual components with your beads and your wire, you can connect them for a bracelet, a totem pendant, earrings, bookmarkers, like book jewelry. But what I do when I need to make jump rings, let me grab a piece of my 20 gauge soft flex wire. I have kind of a long strand here, and I just have my little bench block. Just, it's a really small one. I just keep it on my table, make a little space, and just a rubber mallet, and just like pounding it and twisting it. Like it doesn't flatten the wire when you do this, but this piece is too long. I wanted to make a long coil of jump rings, so I got this huge long piece. But I'll just like pound it and twist it on and do the length, get it nice and flat. And that work hardens it so it becomes half hard, and you can make jump rings. Then if you want to do simple loops with it, you can, it's that simple. Like it's just a little bench block and rubber mallet, and that work hardens the wire and you feel a difference in it. And then you go about your normal, warm it with your fingers and do what you want with it. It's so easy. I love the soft flex wire because I can go from making little curly cues to making, simple loops or jump rings out of it. In fact, I need some jump rings because I'm going to connect whatever I make, I'm going to connect them with jump rings instead of to each other. So since I work hardened this, start with a nice blunt cut on the end, and I'm just going to make some jump rings so they're ready.
I feel so fortunate to be today. You know what? My girlfriend's husband called while we were at Mommy's summer camp, and she said, "Oh, we're busy. We're doing a beading project." And he goes, "You're what?" And she goes, "We're doing a beading project." And he goes, "Isn't that what she does for work? Isn't she on vacation?" And I was like, I feel so blessed that I love what I do so much.
I am the same.
I want to do it on vacation.
I am the same, Sarah. This is my therapy. I mean, you cannot pay. I have tried, different things to calm my nerves, and I'm having a rough summer. I'm dealing with some health issues, and the one thing that I can always turn to is I get really calm. I do. I get really calm, and just there's this. I have this little bead bag, this little tote that says "Beading soothes the soul," and I think that's absolutely true. And I read all the comments, and I think a lot of people are discovering that it's a cognitive exercise between your hands and your brain, and you're tapping in because we're all creative in some way. If you're human, you're creative. And from the comments of all the new people coming to our art form, I know that a lot of people are discovering what some of us have known for a really long time.
It's true. Yeah, it is just, I mean, I've done this. I've been with Softflex for, I don't even know, 26 and a half years or something crazy. And
that's amazing.
It just never gets old. I get happy when I get my beads out on the table and I'm able to sit and use that part of my brain. It always feels good.
Yeah, me too. I can be really anxious and just be having a really stressful day and just sit down right here. And, even making a video sometimes, it does change the work. But even that, I feel like I'm talking to the people that, constantly support my work. And even that is it really saves me a lot of days.
Yeah.
I don't know if everybody knows, but I know doesn't this look weird when I'm doing it?
No,
I've been playing with my wire like this, and some of the large crystals in the bead mix and even these check glass beads, you can fit so much wire through there. So what I did on this one is I put my 20 gauge wire through the bead and did my wrapped loops. So the component part is ready, but there's space in these beads to put, I think I put 24 gauge wire then through there. And now I'm going to create like an orbit of seed beads around the bead with the thinner wire. And I even let my 20 gauge hang out here in case I want to create a spiral with it. I've been having so much fun just like no right or wrong, but just laying wire on beads, around beads, and the soft flex wire is perfect for that. I have to put
doesn't need to be challenging.
Not always. No, everything doesn't have to be a design feat. Sometimes you just like make beautiful things. Sarah, I have to put a bug in anybody's ear that's listening at Soft Flex. Okay. I love that we get a spool of bead stringing wire pretty much in every kit. But have you guys ever thought about giving a spool of your craft wire?
Oh yeah, we do usually in our TGBE kits.
I
we usually do that as like an extra treat in the TGBE kits.
I mean, I would even be willing to give up some beads, although you guys always surprise me with your beads that's in the kit.
Yeah.
But like you always have something amazing.
Oh, thank you.
In your kits,
we try really hard to make them special.
I fell in love with the dichroic bead from the two beads from the artist back in the winter time, whichever, I can't remember which kit it was now, but I was like, I can't believe this is in here.
I know. Yeah, we work really hard every single time to try to make it as special as we can. There's a lot of work.
I bet.
A lot of work, but we love doing it. Obviously, we'd have to keep doing it because
yeah. I don't know any rich jewelry artists. Do you?
No. I do know a lot of happy jewelry artists.
I was just gonna say that we're happy and like it's our coping mechanism, but we're not rich.
Yeah, it's the truth. That is the truth.
My friends know that I always say, if I get rich, I'm going to buy enough lamp work beads to fill my garden bathtub and take a bottle of Prosecco and go sit in the middle of them.
That sounds like something I would do on Mommy's summer camp.
Yeah, right. See, I'm perfect. You need to take me along. I have ideas.
Oh, you should have seen my kids' faces too when they came back from summer camp. They told me all the stuff they did, and then I told them all the stuff I did. We were like, "What?" Like, it's always astonishing when a parent can have fun too.
Right.
I was like, I'm fun. I can have fun, Silly kids. Well, I was really proud of them because many of you have been following me for years and know that since the pandemic, I have been homeschooling, and this is the first year that they are going back to public school, and it was a decision we made each year as a family, depending on what was happening. My husband was very sick, but they got to spend a lot of good quality time with him, and I got to spend a lot of good quality time with them. So it was really, really special that we got that time. But boy, has it been really nice to just live lives just a little bit more normal this week and have the excitement of back to school. And I am not responsible for their education this year.
I tell you, I can't even imagine taking that path. I honestly can't because my son was in regular school through elementary, and then he was dual enrolled in hospital homebound and regular middle school for only 1 year. And then we moved everything to the hospital homebound. And I'll tell you, you don't realize when your kids and your school is in your house, you don't realize what that's going to take out of you.
Yeah, it's a
This
lot.
house was like for years, for all of middle school and high school, my house was like a bus depot. The teachers would come and go, then they would have the principal coming to observe, then the county PT would come. And,
Mm,
as the, as the homeowner, like I was always making coffee and does anybody need a salad? And do you want the
yeah,
family? Like you don't realize. And when the pandemic hit, and they all stopped coming, it hit me like a ton of bricks what I had been dealing with. And we somehow
yeah,
got my son graduated. But I can't imagine actually being the teacher on top of all of that because
yeah. It's a
it's a
lot.
lot. It is a lot.
It is a lot. I'm really happy I got to do it. It was wonderful. I'm also like, I have never been, I loved school as a kid. I've never been anti-public school. Um, if anything, I'm extremely pro public school. So I was, I was kind of shocked it even ended up that way, but it's just the path that we ended up on, Sometimes you're making choices, but the choice that makes most sense isn't what you're expecting it to.
Yeah.
And it worked out great for what we needed, but I think it's also going to be really nice for them to be at school and I can have more quiet for my work and they can have their own, individual space and lives. Um, so yeah, it's really great. And they all did so good yesterday, thankfully.
Nobody cried when it
Hopefully
was time to go to school.
what
No
was that?
crying. No crying when it was time to go to school.
No, I mean, I think when you make the decision as a family, it helps.
Yeah, they're
You
not
know,
being told that this is what you have to do.
exactly. Yeah, we had a discussion and decided each year we decided what was best. And this year, this is what's best for everybody. Um, and I think it also helped because they did go to summer camp last week. My little guy is only 6 and he did sleepaway camp last week, which is kind of crazy because he's so shy.
Yeah.
But it gave him the opportunity to kind of spread his wings. And the sleepaway camp they go to is a camp for kids whose parents have cancer. So the counselors are just the kindest, sweetest. I mean, I just can't even describe these counselors are so thoughtful.
And they can find people that understand what's happening in their life that aren't oblivious.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's all kids on college campuses that do it, but a lot of the kids that do it are kids who went to the camp. So they understand more than anyone. So it's really special. And they made him feel like he was like royalty. So I think going to school seemed like easy. He's
After
like,
that,
I'm just going here for 6 hours and meet some new people,
Right.
So he was good. No tears. I was
That's
really,
so great.
really
My
happy.
my son has never slept away from me. So I can't even imagine how he would do. But
Yeah.
he needs assistance for like going to the bathroom and
Yeah.
bathing and dressing. And
Mhm.
so it's a little different.
That's
But
right.
everybody has to make their choices for their
Yeah.
kids. I've had some judgment over the years with the way that I do things with my son.
Oh, I'm
And,
sure. Who
you know,
doesn't? Who hasn't?
yeah, that's true of any mom. But,
Right.
a lot of times it's because people haven't stood in your shoes for 5 minutes.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So I can't even imagine because my son is also really shy like your son. And honestly, I can't even imagine um, him sleeping away from me. I mean,
Right.
even when he's been in the hospital, this summer has been so hard on us. He's been hospitalized twice, and then we've had several stays in the research hospital, which is about 2.5 hours away from us. And even then, I don't leave him. I'm right there in the chair with him. So I
Oh,
I wonder if we'll ever get to that point. That's a goal of mine.
yeah.
Is I did go to Italy by myself last year, so I was away
Oh.
from him. But you know, he
What was
was
that
with
like?
he was with his dad and his aunt while I was gone. So it
Hmm.
wasn't like he was alone. But
Right.
I mean, when Sarah, I have to confess, when I first got there, I was just so happy that I, had made it back to Italy,
Yes.
and I have friends and family there, and so I ended up taking the train with one of my friends across from Torino, where I stayed, to Venice, and we stayed with. I have a friend that lives in Marghera, and we then took the bus into the main part of Venice, and I had told him and his daughter that I want to buy beads, and I sent them pictures of the kind of beads I was looking for. So they found a shop that was going out of business because it was an older couple that were retiring, and
Oh.
everything was 70% off. So I came
Oh.
back with Italian lamp work, and like it's just like it was just to die for. But full confession, I was my first day there. I got up in the morning, and my friend Fulvia and Gaia, they were there, and I had a full meltdown. It occurred to me that there was an ocean between me and my son, and I I
Oh.
had a full crying meltdown. Both my friends were hugging me, telling me it's going to be okay. And I was like, what have I done? Like, if he needs me, I can't just go. It was
Oh.
so, but it's good for us really because we're joined at the hip, and he needs to learn to communicate with other people about the
Anything.
help that he needs, because
Yeah.
we hardly speak. Like, I know exactly how he wants his shirt, his, everything, and other people don't. And he would get frustrated, like when somebody else was trying to help him and even be snappy. And I'm like, you have to learn to communicate because other people have to be able to help you. I can't be the only person in the world. So it was good and bad all at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, I would say the difficulty is just knowing you may not always be here. Like
It
that's
is,
what I
and
learned
believe
with
me,
my husband.
yeah, and believe me, I think anybody who's a parent, thinks about that.
Worries
I
about
really,
that.
you have to. I mean, you have to. But when your child depends on you for, their bodily functions, and, you know,
Hmm.
getting a drink of water, and like,
Yeah.
uh, even more so, it's really scary. So I
Yeah.
I have a friend who is a little bit younger than me, and her son is a little bit younger than my son, but we kind of raised our boys together when they were little. We used to have, like, we were like a little family. We used to put them in the tub together and make cookies at night and read stories. And then, her son had pajamas here. And so, like,
Oh.
so um, she knows that if anything happens to me and Anthony's dad at the same time,
Mm.
we've already done the paperwork. So,
Yeah.
you do think about those things, but
Yeah, you have to. Unfortunately, it's, it wasn't in my plan for sure.
yeah.
And then you get there and you're like, oh, like we're here, we're all here temporarily. So the goal is to get, all of our kids to be able to take as good of care of themselves as they can,
Right.
whatever situation they're in. But yeah, Jack's been real shy and timid about new people because, he was only 8 months old when the pandemic started. And so
He's got a little
people,
bit of conditioning going on from that time.
yeah, and he didn't get to do all the same things my big girls did. We didn't go out when he was little and, play with other kids nearly as much. And then they already had friends, so we mostly spent time with their friends and their friends' families. And, it just was he had a different situation. And then when his dad was sick, we were real careful about germs. And so,
How are your kids about the masks now? Like, did they go back to no mask pretty
yeah,
easily?
after my husband passed, we've been not wearing masks. We
my
really just,
my son was like the last person on the planet still wearing a mask. I swear
oh
he
yeah.
was.
Hmm.
He just like felt naked
Um,
after, you know, when
yeah.
nobody was wearing them anymore. He just felt like something was missing from him, you know.
Yeah. Well, and they do, I mean, when we wore them, they did keep us from getting sick. And
Yeah,
not
us
just
too.
COVID,
Us
but like all sorts of sicknesses.
Same here. I was like, okay, maybe we just need to be doing this for the rest of
Right.
us too. Like it was a little weird when we first started needing to wear them,
Right.
but um, but yeah, it was,
You
but it
get
really
used
did.
to it.
Yeah, we did get used to it for sure.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to come over here real fast and show you guys what I've been working on. I've been working on a real long dangle for the front of my necklace. I started up here. This is a crystal from the wild mushroom bead strand. I attached that awesome connector that we just got in not too long ago from TierraCast. And now I've been doing some chain down the front. Look, there's that broken bead right in the center. I think it looks so cute. I don't mind it being a half bead for the front. So now I'm going to do this last connection. I thought I would show you guys how I did it, just so if anybody hasn't seen me do this before, you get a chance to see. I'm using the 20 gauge Softflex craft wire. I'm using the gold silver plated. So this is a copper silver plated, and then it has a gold color over the top of it. It also has a polyurethane coating that makes it non-tarnish and hypoallergenic. It's really easy to use, and it will take a shape, and comes in lots of different gauges. What gauge were you using? The 22 gauge, Joey?
I'm using all of them right now. I'm
Oh yeah,
using
that's right.
right now. I'm using 22 gauge to make a a frame around a bead. But let's see, I was using 20 gauge for the wire that orbits my beads, and
Mm-hmm.
this one crystal that I wrapped with seed beads, I used 20 gauge for the loops, and then 26 gauge for stringing on my seed beads to orbit.
Yeah, so
I
I've
have
got
them
a
all out
20
here.
gauge here that I'm
I
using.
really love all of them because you can just do with all those gauges. And like if I'm working in gold, I love that the color matches throughout my piece. I mean, a lot of pieces now are mixed metal, and I like that too, but I'm really a gold lover. So when I'm really
Mhm.
wanting to do a pure gold piece, I just love that my jump rings match my wire wrapped loops. I just love that. But like
That is
today,
awesome.
like for my totem pendant, I'm mixing in silver seed beads, gold seed beads. I have a couple little pieces of silver soft flex wire. I'm so out of, I have got to place a wire order for silver. And I even have some of the soft flex bronze wire out here. It's like a much richer gold. It almost looks copper, and it's so pretty.
That's awesome. Yeah, there's a lot of good colors. So I just made a really loose knot, and then I took the wire and I wrapped it around the base. And that just creates kind of like a little messy knot at the end of my wire. And then I can use that like a head pin. And so I strapped on my bead, strung on my bead, and then I'm going to take my round nose pliers and just a little bit from the top, I'm going to go ahead and bend toward me, which will look like a 90-degree angle, away from me, so the opposite direction. Adjust my plier to the side, and then wrap under, pointing towards me. So toward me, away from me, toward me, and that creates a really nice little loop there. I can hold on to that loop and then just wrap to the bead with my wire, and that'll make a little dangle component. And then I come in and just trim and tuck. I was using my round nose pliers. If you're brand new to beading, I was using my round nose pliers. Now I'm going to use my chain nose pliers. And then I will connect one more bead here. I'll make a connector with this gemstone bead that's going to be in the live sale tomorrow. So to do that, it's kind of a similar situation. I'm going to make that loop first. So toward me, away from me, adjust, and then toward me, like so. I can attach right to my dangle.
Is my coughing loud?
Not too bad. You're having some allergies, right?
I am, and the cough just comes on me. I'm trying to like get away from the microphone a little bit.
Oh, if you need to go take a quick break, I understand. Just let me know.
I have a cough drop, so
get a drink or something.
I've had a really good day with it, but it comes, the cough shows up when I least expect it.
Comes and goes. Oh,
yeah,
that's so tough. I'm gonna look for, I think I want a darker bead right here. So I'm gonna go with this one. And I'm going to string my bead on, and then I'm going to make my other side connect to my finding. So just a little from the top, connect. And I want to leave that a little open. Close it up with my pliers and then wrap. And then I've connected everything together. And this will be basically my pendant. And this would be cute just by itself even. Just off a chain or something. Could be super cute. Look at how fun that is. That big crystal at the top is from the wild mushroom bead strand as well. Then I'm thinking about kind of centering this in this strand of beads. So stay tuned. I'll work on that next. I'm thinking about using this new magnet clasp. I just love how strong they are and how they sit inside of the other one. And I like the pattern a lot. I also have this as an option. If I want to do this little guy, that could be really good too. I could do a flower, a button on the back end. That would look really good with the pattern in the front probably. So I've got some decisions to make too. What do I want to do back on the back side of this necklace that is going to make sense and bring the front together with the back? All right, Joey, I'm going to bring it back over and see what you're up to. How's your totem going?
It's pretty cool. I have my little orbit bead done, and I did like a little like halo around that one. And I can do another one of these, but it's herringbone wrap. I don't know if anybody's interested in seeing this. I do it so that I don't have to measure anything. I do it maybe a little weird. And these beads in the Enchanted, it is weird, but you don't have to measure, and look how good it looks. Everything I do is weird.
Not true.
I can't do anything the normal way, but these beads are so funky. The facets on these beads are so funky. And I looked at that and thought, wow, you could really do a cool herringbone wrap. But my herringbone bead has a simple loop instead of a wrapped loop. And there's basically no measuring. I mean, there's a few ways to do herringbone, but some people do their wraps up the core wire and then measure that and have to measure this side as well. I don't do any of that. I don't do any of that nonsense. I make my jewelry with my heart. But I'm making this like frame around, and I use the Softflex 24 gauge wire. Even 22 works really great for this. And, you know, it's just like a little frame, and I just want to like play with this to get my frame to kind of match the shape of the bead. And from here, you can do a simple loop. You can do a wire wrapped loop. You can do one on each end to make it a component, which is what I'm going to do. But if you wanted this to be like the charm on the bottom of your necklace, you can cut one away and do your loop on only one end. They're really versatile. And then I like this too because it's interactive, like it's, you know, the bead spins in the frame. But if you don't want it interactive, you can do like a little spiral to hold it in place. So I was just kind of looking at it, deciding what I wanted to do with it.
Nice. I love it. And Joey, you have a YouTube channel that you regularly put videos on?
I do just about every day. There's something there just about every day.
What is that called one more time, just so everyone catches it?
Joee's Jewelry. It's because my first name is so unusual. It's Joee. So that's what I called it.
Nice. I love it. And how long have you been doing that now?
Just about a year and a half.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah. I mean, I've been making jewelry since I was in the 5th grade.
Yeah.
So, you know, I have a ton of experience, and YouTube is so wonderful because there are literally thousands of jewelry channels.
Yes.
You can find a voice that you like. You can find a style that you like. You can find somebody's hands that you like. There's just so many choices. You know, when I really got serious about like learning to wrap a loop, YouTube didn't exist. I had to get in my car and find a bead shop and, you know, go buy something and sit there and hope that the person that was running the register could step away to show me. And if you didn't get it the first time, you know, then you had to like bide your time to go, excuse me, could you show me that again? I didn't get it.
Gosh, what a different world it was.
It's a totally different world. And even, you know, like it's been probably about 20 years ago, I started doing bead weaving, and I'm starting to sprinkle some of those kind of videos on my channel. I just did a pair of earrings that's just like a little banner that's done with square stitch. And I had this boho fringe bracelet a couple weeks ago that's with the ladder stitch. And I'm trying to put like really simple things because like I said earlier, there's so many new people to jewelry. So I'm trying to do things that anybody can do. And my little 8-year-old girl that I babysit, she made one of those ladder stitch bracelets. I was so proud of her. She thought it was amazing. And I said, Sonia, do you want to make one of those? And she lit up like a Christmas tree. So that was one of our summer projects, was for her to make, and she accomplished it. And I mean, I helped very little. She was so cute, but I used to have to like, you know, sign up for a class and get in my car and be there on time. And there might be 10 or 12 other people there. So if you had a question or you made a mistake, you had to sit there and wait for the one person that was teaching to come back around and figure out what you did wrong. Or, you know, like with the YouTube videos, you can pause, back it up, watch it 1,000 times. You know, it's like
so nice.
It's a totally different world than when I started making jewelry. And like for designs, I used to go to the bookstore and stand at the magazine rack for an hour, 2 hours at a time and just look at pictures, having really no idea how the person made it. But I'd look at the pictures of the design and then figure out how to make it. You know, so like, you know, we just don't have to do all that. We don't have to do it the hard way anymore.
I know, it's nice. I like it. And it's just like such a nice way to connect as a community, no matter where you live, you know, or what time zone you're in. We can all like be
Isn't
together.
it amazing? And can I tell you, like one of my best friends, you know, as we get older, I was reading that as we get older, it gets harder to make friends. It's not easy as when we're in school and when we're, you know, in the workplace, when we go into an office every day. But one of my best friends that I just met 2 years ago at a bead show, we joined the Bead Society here in Orlando, and we've been on like we did a South Florida bead shopping trip. I filmed a lot for my, you know, and I met her through my art, and she is an expert at bead weaving. So we're very different. Like she tells me, I can't wrap a loop. Can you put a loop on this for me? So like, you know, I'll do things with wire because she's a needle and thread person, but we get along so great. And it almost feels like we're sisters. I mean, we get along so well. And I, you know, like it's a great way to make friends too, as we get older. And, you know,
I love that.
Yeah, it's really sweet. And so even people you've met on the internet, like you can still become friends with them and, you know, stay, like you said, it's a great way to stay connected.
For sure.
So does anybody want to
think Thomas is in the background, Debbie, helping us out. We have a question about who's behind the Softflix company today. So good to see all of you guys in the chat. Make sure you sign up for the giveaway. Thomas, I'm going to let you choose what to give away. So everybody butter Thomas up now. He is a handsome guy in Arizona. Although he's taken, ladies, I'm sure he would enjoy a little buttering up. Who wouldn't? So he'll choose an extra good prize, but I will choose the winner at random at the end of the show. So stick around to the end in order to claim your prize. And Janet's saying she made your totem necklace a while ago.
Oh,
and she
cool.
gets so many compliments when she wears it. She even made one for her doctor.
Oh, so cool, Janet. Did you put it on, what did you string it on? Did you put it on leather or did you put it on a chain, or what did you put for because in my video, I just did a pendant and I put a really large veil on it, and then I change out what I wear mine on.
Oh, I love that. Does anybody hear my dog Shadow?
No.
She's moaning at the door because she cannot be alone for anything. And my mom went to go pick up the kids. Come on, Shadow. She hates being alone. So this whole go back to school thing has not been her favorite thing.
Hi, Shadow.
She's loved having her kids at home. But
I don't know if anybody wants to see a herringbone wrap, because, it's definitely not something I designed, but I think I do mine a little bit easier than some people. So I'm going to do one of these like this one.
Oh, why did I use the wire cutter upside down?
Oh, no.
Question. Let's watch Joey and then I'll talk about that. Okay, Pamela? Go ahead, Joe.
I just start out with like a few little wraps, and they're a little bit loosey-goosey, but like 2 or 3 on a piece of wire. And I'm just going to use my plier to kind of chase that around. You're going to wrap on top of this if you do it this way. So it doesn't have to be perfect, but you can make it pretty perfect by scrunching together. And then I feed my bead on whatever that is that I want on there. And so this way, just get my bead like to the middle of the wire. And this way you don't have to measure anything. Just come down the side of your bead. And this one's funky because the facets on this are really strange, but I love it. And then I'm going to hold with my thumb and forefinger and then do the same number of wraps here that I started on the other end. So I did like 2.5 on the other end. And you're going to wrap on top of this so it doesn't have to be perfect. And just get around to where you can go up the side with your wire. So you don't need to measure. Really, you just want to do the same number of wraps on the top and bottom. And so just thumb and forefinger, and then you come on top of your core wire, and you can go right over these or right above your first little wraps, and you bring your wire to the back of your core and back around to the front of your core. And then just rotate your work. And this time, come around this way so you can see. This time I'm going to lay the wire behind that first wrap that I did, hold it with my thumb and finger, and go on top of those first wraps and go behind the core and around to the front. And like I see that I have a little separation there, so I'm going to push mine together. And I'm using 20 gauge wire for my core, and I'm using 26 gauge wire for the wrapping. But really, I've done this all with 20 gauge wire. And you just keep going. Like I see that. And you don't even have to do this, but I'm a fuss budget with those of you that watch me, you know that I feel like if you straighten out whatever you don't like before you go on, it's just much easier and your piece looks better. But this is so easy because you don't have to measure anything, and you can stop wherever you want. However much wire, like if you take a long piece of wire or however much space you have on your bead. But this crystal was so funky. I loved it for the herringbone wrap. I like to do this on cane glass as well because it just, your wraps give you this weird shape. But it's this simple, and you just go until you're out of wire or until you're happy with your herringbone. And then you have a normal wire that you can either do a simple loop. I think most people can't do a simple loop. you have to do a wrapped loop the way most people do herringbone, because then you use that wire to wrap this number of wraps. But this way you don't have to measure anything, and you can do your loops any way you want. And a lot of times if I leave myself extra of this wire, I'll do spirals or like embellish or create like another little cage and just, keep going with the embellishments. So it's a really, really easy way to do herringbone.
I love it. I see we're getting lots of good compliments for Thomas, so he picks an exceptionally good prize. Good job, everybody. That is I'm sure working well. On the end of that, are you just going to make 2 links?
Simple loops, just like I'm just going to do simple loops. And then the jump rings that I made, I'm going to link all these together. And I kind of saved my little dragonfly to be the final drop. Like on this one, I had this gigantic crystal. You can really do your final drop to be anything you want. We had a lot of big beads in the kit that was really pretty. I used every single one of these little guys for my bracelet. But that would even make like a little cha-cha dangle if you didn't use those up. I've already used mine, but really your final drop can be anything that you want. But I'm going to just link them together with jump rings just like this. And I like to do 2 jump rings per link, so I might even need to make some more. But it just looks really cool and chain-like to put 2 jump rings in every hole when you connect. It's really fun. And if you like, when you get them done, like you can turn them into a bracelet, you can turn them into anything you want. But I haven't done a totem pendant in a really long time, so I thought I'd aim for that tonight.
I love it. It's such a great project. Everyone's really loving how you do the herringbone. And they feel like that's a really cool thing to do.
It's doable.
Cool way to do it.
This can look so intimidating. This can look really intimidating, especially if you feel like you're not confident with wire. But doing it this way, I don't know. I feel like anybody could do this.
Yeah, I agree.
If I can do it, anybody can do it.
I know. I was just thinking I could probably do it. And if I could do it, then that's
I'm not a wire artist. Like, there's some wire people on YouTube that are so graceful and they're almost like ballet with their wire. That is not me, but I do get the job done. So, but I do look for easier ways. I look for easier ways to do it so that, if you want to do this, but like, I think that's a pretty cool.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
And so like for my simple loops, I'm going to turn it to the back side, and really on herringbone, you can pick the side that you want, but I'm a little bit of a stickler about where my loops open. So I'm bending away from me with the back side of my herringbone, and I'm just going to put a simple loop in here, and my simple loop will open on the back side of the component. So when I snip and I close it really well, you really can't see where it opens, but it is going to be on the back side. But then if you want to open this again and you don't want to do the jump ring method, it's a simple loop. You can open it so it looks like that.
Whoa, so good.
And easy is really important. Life is
if
complicated.
You guys love this technique, make sure you give this video a heart or a thumbs up so other people can find it too. And then it also just lets Joey know that you enjoyed watching today. And we, of course, have loved having you here, Joey.
You guys are so sweet. If it was anybody else, like if I didn't already know you, Sarah, and the Softlex people and the group that's regular on my channel, this is hard for me. I try to appear about once a month on my channel. This is really hard for me. People that know me, they don't realize what an introvert I am. This is the hardest part of my job, is like showing up face to face. I could sit and make jewelry, like not eat, not sleep, but you guys make it so easy. I'm like actually really comfortable and having a really good time, which, that's saying something, because this is hard for me. It's the hardest part of my job.
I love hearing that. I'm going to flip over to my table one more time, and then we'll do the giveaway. I beaded up my necklace, and I did a mixture of that wild mushroom bead strand, which can be found at softlexcompany.com, with the beads from the live sale, which were these beautiful rounds. We'll see those tomorrow, 1 p.m. Pacific, if you want to join us. And these great, big, gorgeous agates. I mean, I feel so lucky I got to use those today. And they just went with that wild mushroom bead strand so well. I feel like that added in the sparkle and some of the smaller beads and some of the metallics. It felt like they were meant to be together. So I already attached on one end. I decided to use the magnet clasp that locks in place that looks like this guy here. I'm going to attach on the other end. If you've never attached a clasp before, which there almost always is at least one of you out there that is just clicked on here and just never done this before. I'm going to go through all the details, even though many of you have seen me do this many times over. This is the Pro Econoflex, like I said at the beginning, in the medium, in the beautiful gold color. It's a 49 strand product. It's great for this project. It's so pretty. I think it's going to be a really good fit here. I'm using a 2x2 millimeter Softflex crimp tube, very thick, very strong, and very sturdy. I'm going to string that crimp tube, string my clasp, bring my wire back into my crimp tube, and then just gently pull that tight, not super tight. I want to match my 2 loops on both sides, and I want it loose enough that my clasp can kind of wiggle around. It's never good to put things too tight when it comes to beading wire. You want a little bit of a looseness there. It can be kind of challenging to crimp with a magnet clasp because the magnet clasp pulls the plier to it. So it's a little easier on the second one. I can kind of pull them away from each other and then come in with the crimper. But the first one is the harder one. Just be aware. It can be a little challenging, but nothing you can't get past. I used the magical crimpers to compress that crimp tube once, which created a little 4-corner ravioli looking guy. Now I'm going to go in and take those 4 corners and compress them in. And I'll probably go around and around, just kind of gently compressing into a round bead. And then I can come in. I had a question about how I use the cutters. These cutters actually are no longer on sale on our website, but almost all semi-flush cutters are similar. They have a flat side and then they have kind of a beveled side. I like to take the flat side to get in as close to where I'm cutting as possible. It gives you a nice flat, straight, flush cut on that side. So whether I'm using a Softflex beading wire or I'm using a Softflex craft wire, I'm usually thoughtful about where do I want that flat edge to be and how can I get in as close as possible. So I imagine that's why maybe it looked like it was upside down or backwards. I was probably just trying to get a nice flat cut. And that's it. I can't even fit my necklace in this itty bitty screen. Let me see if I go this way. I might be able to get it in. What a fun fall design. I'm like so jazzed that I got to use fall colors today. That worked out great that Rosa had those. Here's the other half of that bead that I could still use for another pendant if I wanted to. This is a great way if you end up with a broken bead and you're looking, if it cuts off right in the middle like this and it's not too jagged, you know, that it is an option to still use it depending on the bead. So just keep that in mind. Sometimes even broken things still make sense in a jewelry design. You never know. And I think it's giveaway time. What do you think, Joey?
Yay. I finished connecting, but I am going to have to go make some more jump rings, but I finished connecting and I put my little firefly at the bottom. It's so cute.
You can I'm going to come over and look real fast and then we'll go do the giveaway.
You can make these as long or as short as you want.
Cute. Someone asked, why do you call it a totem design?
I saw it, fine jewelry. That's what they call it. I saw a jeweler. I can't remember his name now, but he had like a ruby, an emerald, a diamond, and they were all set, and it was fine jewelry. And he connected each of the stones in. And I saw it on the runway about 3 years ago, and they called it a totem pendant. And I think it's like a totem pole is all the different like faces. They don't look cohesive, but they stack on top of each other, and it's that principle, but with jewelry. So yeah, I didn't come up with it. It's something that I saw from a jeweler.
Very cool. You can find a lot of the things you're seeing today, the Enchanted Forest Design Kit on Joee's table. Some of the components that I used, including the wild mushroom bead strand and the 3-strand component on the softluxcompany.com website. And then, of course, join us for the live sale for those gemstones, 1 p.m. Pacific tomorrow. Okay, I am going to share my screen real fast, and we will see what we got. 63 people have entered. Thomas, what are we giving away today? I'm excited to find out. How did they do in buttering you up? Is it like a super great giveaway, or were you feeling like it was lackluster and we're giving away a single bead? Winner gets a So Charming bead strand. Ooh, that's exciting. I love that. I don't know if I've seen the So Charming bead strands yet.
I don't think I have.
I know. That's very exciting. Okay, can't wait for Customer Appreciation Week coming up quickly in September. Okay, well, we've got hashtag Enchanted, last chance to enter to win a Customer Appreciation Week bead strand. I am going to draw an entry now. Let us know that you're here in order to claim your prize in the chat, and Thomas will look for your name. Who's a good girl, Shadow? Who's a good girl? You want to come say hi? Oh, hello. You say hello.
Oh, hi,
hello,
Shadow.
Everybody. Oh, she's so good. Lori on Facebook, let us know that you're here to claim your prize. You're going to email info@softluxcompany.com. Let them know your shipping address and that you won the So Charming bead strand, so they know what exactly to send you. Isn't she so cute, everybody? I know.
Hi, baby.
She's like, where are my kids and why have they been gone all day?
So cute.
She likes to watch over them like a
little.
Me.
I normally have a dog under my table and a cat on my windowsill, and I don't know where everybody is tonight. It's very quiet. It's a little bit eerie.
Oh, they're giving you a break.
Yeah, they're like, Mom's working and she's stressed, and let's leave her alone.
You don't want to push it. Yeah, let's not push it. Oh, good. Lori is here. Congratulations, Lori.
Congratulations, Lori.
Follow those instructions. Email info@softluxcompany.com, and that will get you your prize. Here is our sale information. It's code last chance, up to 70% off on over 150 items. And we even have new deeper discounts on our closeouts and even maybe some of our outlets. Look for that 24 karat gold in the outlet shop. You can use this coupon code in addition to the price it's already on sale for. So this coupon code is good for 10% off on top of whatever the sale price already is. And we added some new closeout items too. So make sure you look through closely. There might be some things in there that kind of surprise you and help us move some of that old inventory out so we can start thinking about fall and winter and the upcoming holidays. We've got tons of stuff to to work on here. All right, Joey, I'm going to bring us back up here.
Do you want me to chance turning my camera around, or should I be well enough
okay.
alone?
Don't stress. We're so glad you were here with us today.
Yes,
Thank you for coming.
Everybody. I had a great time, Sarah. It was so good to see you again and catch up a little bit.
Thanks for giving me the soft entry back in after 3 weeks of not doing lives. It's been really nice to be back. I look forward to seeing all of you guys for the live sale tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific. And yeah, I'm happy to be back and happy to be beading. And I hope all of you have been beading as well. And I will see everybody tomorrow at 1. And Joey, I hope you'll come back again soon. It's always a pleasure.
I know. I would love that. You make this so much easier than it is in my head. You're awesome.
You did a great job. Everybody loved that herringbone. And I love the idea of the totem. Is just so super fun.
Yeah, it's really fun. You can use a lot of leftover things. And if you get a bead mix where you have these large beads and you don't know what to do with them, I hear that a lot. It's a good solution for that.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love videos that have solutions for things that people are definitely thinking about. So please heart and like this video wherever you're watching. Let us know that you enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys all again tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.